Hello everyone, my name is Ajay Poddar. I am part of Informatica GCS team. As a part of today's presentation, we are going to see how to create and run mapping in SQL ELT using Snowflake. As a part of today's presentation, these are the agenda: SQL ELT overview, target and supported source for SQL ELT mapping, and how to create and run mapping in SQL ELT using Snowflake, and the demo. So let's try to understand on SQL ELT. SQL ELT, which stands for Extract, Load, Transform, which uses cloud native SQL to move and transform data efficiently within the same cloud ecosystem. You can use SQL ELT when your source and target are in the same cloud environment, and this approach will process all mapping logic within the cloud. SQL ELT optimizes data integration by leveraging cloud infrastructure, resulting in faster and more efficient processing. Target and supported source for SQL ELT mapping. This table highlights the list of target and supported source. So currently we're discussing on Snowflake, and for this the target will be Snowflake and source can be Snowflake, Data Cloud, Amazon S3 and Microsoft ADLS Gen 2 based on the cloud vendor. Now let's see on demo how we can create and implement the Snowflake SQL ELT mapping. So for this, log into your IDMC console and select data integration. Click on new, mappings, create. So it will list the two options, mapping and mapping SQL ELT. So select mapping SQL ELT, continue. So before creating the actual mapping, it will ask the cloud platform which you are having. So currently you are checking for Snowflake. So select Snowflake, select, and it will prompt with the target connection where you want to load the data. So the target connection where I want to load the data will be the Snowflake. So this is the SQL ELT mapping UI which will be initially having the source and target. In between you can add your own transformation and logic. So based on the target, the source will differ. So it will list the supported source which is already created in your IDMC, like Amazon S3 or Snowflake Data Cloud or ADLS Gen 2 based on the cloud vendor. So my Snowflake Data Cloud is on AWS, so I'll be trying to load the data from S3 to Snowflake. So select the source, click on connection, select your S3. So this is my S3 connection, and for target you can select the object where you want to load the data. So you will not be able to change the target connection from the target object. You need to go to the mapping property panel to change the target connection. So for this, click anywhere on the mapping canvas and scroll down. You will see the target connection where you can change your target connection. So again, when you are changing the target connection, the source may differ. I have already created a simple mapping which is having some expression and filter and moving the data from S3 to Snowflake target. So as you can see, my source is Amazon S3 and I'm moving the data from my aj.csv file to Snowflake table, that is SQL ELT TGT. So in between I am having some expression which is ltrim and rtrim, and using some simple filter condition, that is name equal to Ajay. So let's try to preview the SQL ELT. For this you can do, so click on this icon and you will see the option for generate SQL query. So once you are clicking on generate SQL query, it will give you the list of the query which will be executed in your cloud environment. So it have successfully generated the query. Let's expand this. So you can see here, since you are moving the data from your flat file which is stored on the S3, so it will create the staging table on your Snowflake and move the data to the staging table, and finally it will copy the actual data to your target Snowflake table. So this query will be executed within your Snowflake ecosystem. So now let's try to run this mapping. So for running this mapping, you need to create a mapping task. Click on three dots, new mapping task. Here you need to update your mapping task name, runtime environment, and the mapping. I have already created the simple mapping task. I have updated the mapping task name, assigned the runtime environment, and selected the mapping. And this is the mapping image, which is having expression and filter. So click on next and click on run button to run this. I have already ran this mapping, which is succeeded and has processed the 6 row. You can view the query which were executed on your Snowflake ecosystem from the session log. So for that, download the session log and open this. So here you can see the list of the query which were executed on your Snowflake ecosystem. So here you can see here the staging table has been created and the data has loaded to the staging table from your Amazon S3 flat file, and then finally the data has been loaded to your target Snowflake schema with the command and the transformation where I have used some expression, and the filter condition is also being highlighted here, that is LTrim, RTrim, and the filter condition which I have specified on my filter transformation. For more information on SQL ELT mapping using Snowflake, please refer this documentation. We'll love to hear from you. You can send us the mail to supportvideos@informatica.com or tweet us on https://twitter.com/infasupport. Thank you.